Hello everyone, I am the debt-free dog groomer and I'm here to help dog groomers, or anyone for that matter, to live the lifestyle they want. You don't have to live your life paycheck to paycheck, and I'll show you how, one video at a time. So this video is about the top 5 ways, sorry if I'm looking down a lot, my notes are down here, but the top 5 ways to reduce costs in grooming. And if you notice in the background, that picture is me and my husband, and that was actually the picture on our save the dates. And people think we're insane, but that thing wrapped around us is my snake. So I figured that would be a good save the date picture there. Although we didn't actually have our wedding because you know, all this virus stuff. We were gonna have our wedding at the zoo, and the last time we talked to them, they were allowed to have 25 people, and they couldn't have alcohol or dancing. So what's the point of a wedding, really, at that point? So we decided to cancel, and we're just gonna have a party later on, and we just got married, so. But anyways, I got way off topic there. I just got distracted by seeing it. So the number 1 on my list is maintaining your equipment. So that, you know, includes like keeping your equipment clean, like especially your dryers. Just make sure all the hair is cleaned off, make sure the filters are cleaned off from dander and everything like that. You can learn how to do like the simple maintenance on your equipment, like changing the brushes in your dryer. And honestly, it's super easy. I mean, I know people don't want to get into all that, and it seems much more complicated until you actually do it, and it's really not bad. And like changing the blade drive in your clippers and changing the hinge. Now, quick story, I actually just closed my shop, so we were going through all my old equipment, and I realized that I actually had 18 pairs of clippers, and like that was completely unnecessary. And I've been grooming for 10 years, so this was just like accumulated over the years. But the reason why I had so many is because I didn't know how to replace the blade drive or the hinge in the beginning, and I would buy new clippers completely when those went bad. So, I mean, you can see why I have learned the hard way how to save on grooming costs. So, and then regular sharpening, I would keep up with that. I try to do it at least every 6 months, but probably more often than that. I like to definitely at least maintain my scissors really well. My blades, I have like a decent amount of extras. So like when one blade goes bad, I just put it in the sharpening pile and then get one of my sharpened ones, and that works fine that way. But I don't get all of my blades done every time the sharpener comes, but I get most of my scissors done regularly. So number 2 is don't keep a huge stockpile of shampoos. And I know people struggle with this so hard, and I struggled with it in the beginning too. I've gotten better. I honestly stick to like one main shampoo for the body. I mean, I use like the facial stuff for the face, and I like that. But I know that like groomers like to keep a lot of different shampoos because you're like, oh, well, I never know if this dog has this certain type of skin issue, I like to keep this on hand. Or like if, you know, it gets to be a little excessive when, you know, you're carrying like 20 different shampoos. It's just unnecessary. I understand, you know, you want to keep like some, like a medicated oatmeal, you know, a regular maintenance shampoo. That's fine. But also not to keep like an insane amount of those products unless you go through a ton. I mean, unless you're a super high volume salon, then you're going to want to keep a decent amount. But I mean, especially like those single mobile groomers, you don't need like a, you know, stacks and stacks of shampoo. Because honestly, like I feel like when I have more shampoo on hand, I go through more because I'm like, oh, well, you know, I kind of want to try this, and I'm just gonna like mix, you know, a big concoction together when it's just kind of unnecessary. But I would suggest, like, I know that you know, it's fun to try everything, like it's fun to try new shampoos, but I suggest like limiting that to like maybe like once a month instead of you know, just kind of whenever you feel like it, because that can get way more often than you actually realize. So number 3 is go through products once a month or like every other month to see what you haven't used, and just make sure, like, if the product's been sitting there for a while, just use that up, because there's no point in, like, I know that groomers don't really want to use things that they don't it's not their favorites. And if you truly don't like a product, like if you don't like a shampoo and you just like hate every time you use it, throw it away or get rid of it, because there's no point in keeping it. So then number 4 on the list is don't be wasteful with your supplies. Now, supplies meaning like paper towels, baby wipes, all your extra stuff, all your extra stuff that's not considered like actual grooming supplies. And how I do, obviously you don't want to, you still want to use the amount of supplies that it'll take to run your business. But if you keep like buying more and more, let's say like baby wipes, if you have like, if you say like, oh, well, I think that I'm running low on baby wipes, so I need to get more. Well, it seems like the more you have, the more you use. And you want to have somewhat of extras on hand, obviously, but you don't want to keep buying and buying and buying more, because I mean, that's like two downsides to that is if you keep buying more, you're just spending more money on stuff that you already have. And then 2, it's like if you have more of that product, you tend to use more of it. And then I suggest taking inventory of your supplies and your shampoo, and stuff like that, like your shampoos and conditioners and everything. That's up to you to decide how often you want to take that inventory, like how often you shop. So, you know, once a month or like once a week, just take inventory of what you have and make sure you're not buying like a ton of one thing, because it's just wasteful. And you don't want, I mean, I know shampoos have like a big shelf life, but you also don't want it to go bad and then just waste a whole gallon. So number 5 is like literally the top. I should have just put that as number 1, but I just kind of left that last to be, to emphasize it. But don't buy things if you don't have the cash for it, because, I mean, there's a few different reasons, but the interest you end up paying on it, it seems like it's just a vicious cycle. Like once you start, you know, taking payments out on especially grooming equipment, like, you know, okay, I have a payment on my dryer, a payment on all this other stuff, it's like the amount of interest you pay is just, it's not necessary. And in the grooming industry too, I love that you can kind of like save as you go. Like you don't have to have, there's not a huge startup cost in it. So even though you think, you know, okay, I really need these cordless clippers, you don't actually need the cordless clippers. You can use what you have for now, and then, you know, make it a point. Okay, this is the next thing I need. So I need to save this amount in this amount of time. So also like the risk of having debt on really anything besides a mortgage is like, it's just a huge risk. And like, okay, so what if you get injured and you can't groom? You're still going to be paying on that stuff, you know, monthly or weekly, however often, you know, you pay for these things. But if you buy it up front, then you already spent that money, you know, like that's yours. You don't have a payment on it, and you don't end up paying way more for it because of the interest on it anyways. And a big thing, what if we actually get shut down again? God forbid, I do not want that to happen, but I am prepared for that. If that were to ever happen again, I really don't want it to, and nobody else does either. But like, what if, you know, we get shut down again and you owe all these payments on your equipment and everything else? So I got a call from from a vendor. I can't remember what company it was, but the vendor, they left a message, and, excuse me, my mouth is pretty dry, but I got a call from a vendor, and they said, you know, about all the specials and the products, everything, that's fine. But then at the end of the call, they're like, well, we do have financing, and you are able to finance a blade. Financing a blade is insane to me. Because I mean, what, a blade's $25, $30, and I don't even want to know what the payments would be, what interest rate. Like, that is just insane to me. But anyways, that is the top 5 ways to reduce costs in grooming. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The inspirational money quote for today is, save money and money will save you. And please like, subscribe, and I do record every Wednesday. I post every Wednesday, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.